these reports have been there for now, maybe we are coming to close to 30 years. They're just reports coming up, and when you look at it and you've lived in this region and you know what has happened and is happening, and sometimes you wonder what the exercise is all about. Is it really aimed at resolving problems? Do they present facts of the situation to help people do the right thing to resolve the problems obtaining and move on to other things? Or are they just aimed at sanitizing, the involvement, the names of many perpetrators, and really keeping the status quo, so that in the end, I think, there is just money flowing into the situation and out, and people living off of it, and countries and using it to manage other countries, and then bringing in the NGOs that play into that and enable the powers that be keep the region and Africa where it should stay, and keep, pacifying and managing us even without peace. Because, for example, if you have read it, I haven't seen, if I may pick a few examples, we have refugees here from Congo who have been living here for a couple of decades now. And there have been more coming across the border into Rwanda because they are running away from persecution. Some have been killed, women raped, others cross with scars, and so on and so forth. There has been hate speech, there has been all kinds of things relating to the turbulent history of Rwanda or the region. But you find these reports always fall short of addressing even the understanding of this problem, later on providing possible solutions for those problems. Now, that's one. The other is actually complete distortion sometimes they create. Because if you look at, again, the report, there is highlighting some aspects of problems here. They always say M23, M23. M23 is everybody's problem. It has become an international problem. I think M23 affects Europe, affects America, affects Africa, and they are quiet. They speak in whispers when it talks about FDLR, when they're talking about over 120 armed groups in Eastern Congo. They only highlight M23 and ADF, yes, ADF, they talk about ADF. Sometimes even trying to create an equivalence that M23 and ADF are equivalent. But FDLR, these genociders, who have now become part of really the national army of DRC. Have been armed, they are known, we have names, ranks, we know, but they assume these people don't even exist, that it is not even a problem that we should be talking about. And when you ask, you say, okay, but are you saying these people have never existed? They say, yeah, yes, they have, but so where are they? Where did they go to? Just disappeared? They say, most of them, these people went back home, they are no longer there. But on one hand, they say they went back home. On the other hand, they are not talking about those who have stayed and are actually causing problems. They've been causing problems to Rwanda. Like, the case from 2019. And other cases that followed later on. And then these names we talk about that we know exist in that part. Then you have other cases that is North Kivu. Then you have other cases in South Kivu involving, again, not only people from Rwanda. The cases where Burundi is affected in the same way. They have people they have to confront that live in that part. And then there is a mix of the Congolese groups and national forces. Then you have the UN that is always crisscrossing from North Kivu to South Kivu, and sometimes you cannot even understand what is going on. So I would have expected that a report like that really clarifies who is who and what they are doing and where they came from or what their intentions are, without exception. And then guide us to the possible actions that should be taken in order to pacify, because pacifying Eastern Congo is not just pacifying Congo, it's also pacifying the neighboring countries, whether it is Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi, and maybe others beyond in other geographical parts. So what can I say about, well, and they are called a group of experts, but experts in, do you know they have not been here to, for example, talk to people who have actually been fleeing from Congo to Rwanda and maybe to Uganda or some other places, but mainly here is what I'm more conversant about. They've never done that. Why? Why do you think an expert is supposed to be taken seriously and therefore the report they write would not have done that? It shows something, maybe akin to bias of some sort. And how do you address a problem like this? When so that's people are trying to write their own narratives. The group of experts maintains the narrative that was set long ago, close to 30 years ago, around the story of genocide. But they want genocide to be seen more in their own view than in the reality of what happened here. That's what I was referring to when I was talking of sanitization of certain parties and their involvement. It's a narrative that goes on for a long time. It's the victim, in the end, turns into a perpetrator. So Rwanda, which, if you look at our history, which you talked about earlier, where we have come from, we must be made to carry the name of being some kind of perpetrator or responsible for the chaos in the region, and even in Eastern Congo or in Congo. Then they bring up issues about, mineral exploitation, that we are there for minerals. It's no longer an issue of FDLR. It's M23. It's no longer for their national rights in Congo. It's about being proxies for Rwanda to achieve exploitation of minerals or achieve some even go to the extent of saying we want to cut part of Congo and annex it and make it ours. They create all sorts of theories and stories. So even if the report, the group of experts does not say that, but it provides the ground on which people can grow these seeds of confusion and division, and so we in our case we really have to always be careful, as we have been and continue to be, so that we don't get lost into this mess and forget our priorities, which is to keep Rwanda and Rwandans and those who live here, wherever they come from, secure, irrespective of the rumblings that go on around us.